doesn't love classic combinations, man? I mean, macaroni and cheese, peanut butter and jelly, rock and roll, wreck and rule, rack and ruin in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you're at it, baby, light them up. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors NL, Transformers vs. G.I. Joe vs. DC Universe vs. Marvel, and check me out everywhere across social media. All those links down in the description. And while you're at it, see what we offer on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring. That and much more. Like I said, all those links, man, in the description. And this is Cyberverse Rack and Ruin. He is an ultra class offering, and he is not perfect, but he's pretty great, especially since we really have never had a version of Rack and Ruin. There's even a G1 nod in here, and kind of a bit of a crazy, bit of an outlandish transformation considering that this is a Cyberverse Ultra, but it's fun at the same time. Is he perfect? No. Is he strong? Yes. Could we see improvements? Maybe one day, but for now I think he'll stand pretty well. But without any further ado, why don't I stop gushing, we head over to the table and take a closer look at this record.
And while I freely admit that Cyberverse as a line isn't really my thing, I kind of enjoyed the fiction, and I really enjoyed their depiction of this guy, or these guys, if you will, Rack and Ruin, and was very, very stoked to get them. So happy to add this duo, I'm gonna call them a duo, to my collection. I've already kind of separated him from, you know, his plastic prison there, so we're gonna just take him out of it. And this is what the packaging looks like. Of course, we have his armor gimmick down here. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. Nice artwork up here, and of course on the back we have images of the robot mode, of the vehicle mode, as odd as it is, and the gimmick up here. That's about it for the packaging. There's also Cyberverse instructions. They're okay. I mean, they're no Siege instructions, but they're not bad. They're fine for what they are, and they do depict things in a pretty straightforward manner. And here we have Rack and Ruin in all of his glory. Now, I feel like he's been overlooked. This member of the Wreckers has been overlooked for a long time. I mean, I've seen a lot of customs done where they've cobbled together a couple of guys, and I've always thought to myself, yeah, that's great, but like, you still are going to have two separate alt modes. Like, I think my understanding has always been that they're supposed to have one alt mode. Maybe I'm wrong about that. This guy should have 4 legs, whatever. I'm fine with this the way it is. Okay, so in terms of coloration, it's very accurate to the animation model. I'm going to give that a 10. Honestly, I think it's great. Fantastic start, but of course we're going to have the conversion, we're going to have the articulation to go through, and I've heard some people say, hey, the articulation is severely hindered. It's not so much that it's hindered as it's weird. Now, he does have the whole, like, Energon armor gimmick, and it's apparently, I just tipped them over, but apparently it, like, this on the back can come off, and you know, it can go like in his hand, and like, it looks kind of ferocious. It can go in his hand like that, no problem. But apparently, like, when you put it on the back here again, it's supposed to push in on a button, and when it pushes in on that button, it's supposed to, like, I don't know, like, I guess disengage the front of the body or something. It's weird because there's 2 places where the body disengages. I just did it there anyway. It's 2 places where the body disengages, and I'll talk about that in a moment. It's really strange. And either way, you get this Energon armor come out over the front of him. Now, here's the weird thing about the Energon armor. If you look at it, it's molded to look like G1 Rack and Ruin. If you were to paint this green, it would look a lot closer to the G1. Here's the thing though. Where G1 kind of just had like a visor, almost like a Viacon, here the visor would be opened out. So you can't paint the visor in yellow because it's open out. You would still see the face and behind it. It would be more like a gladiator helmet over each of the heads. So, I mean, you can leave it out if you want, but if you don't want to do that, of course, you can, you know, open out the body, and you can bring this
back up over and fold it in. Now, here's what I was saying. Like, the body splits in two places, and there's a reason for it. The first split, of course, is for the Energon armor. The second is for the transformation. I find that the Energon armor tends to pop open on clobber pretty easily. Does not happen here. So if you want it, open it, bring it out, maybe leave it there. If you don't want it, I don't think you're going to accidentally pop it, or at least on my copy, you're not really going to accidentally pop it that often, if at all. Now I'm going to just leave this off for the moment. We're going to do the articulation, and like, there's not a whole lot for me to be able to say about the articulation until we get to the arms. So we're going to actually start from the bottom and work our way up. No ankle tilt, that's a shame, and some people are definitely going to complain about like the hollow inside the legs, but like Impactor, you know, Siege Impactor's hollow in the legs. Look at Hoist and Trailbreaker, they're hollow, so that really does not bother me. I'm going to take the arms out to the side. The legs come all the way out to the side. I think that's fantastic. All the way forward, actually very far forward. Back, okay. We do have a swivel because of transformation. We do have 90 degrees at the knee, so like, no waist, but that, again, I get it because of transformation. The arms can come all the way out to the side like this. We do have an elbow, and we do have a swivel here. Now, this is when things get weird. The shoulder can come all the way around that way, and it can come all the way around this way, but eventually the tire here on the back hits resistance. So if you're bringing it around, like, you can bring it, but like, to get it down past, you kind of got to take the arm out to the side. And some people said, whoa, 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 what if I want the arm right here? Now it's way out to the side. Indeed it is. So you have a couple of options. One, this whole shoulder piece sort of unfurls and untabs, so you can actually still get it right across the body, or facing out straight. It's just you have to use this weird accordion shoulder in order to do it. So it is possible, as strange as it is. Or the other option that you have is you could sort of like just take the arm all together out and turn this arm this way, and now you have a bit more of a range of motion. So it's not that the articulation's not there, it's just it's really strange. What would have been nice is if there had been one more section here, a way to sort of flip the tire, or even if you could just lift the tire out and move it over a bit, just to clear it ever so slightly. Because of that weird, I'm not even going to say limit, but weird design choice, I'm going to say that it does affect the articulation. I'm going to have to give it about a 7. So we have a 10, we have a 7. Overall, right now, the guy's about an 8.5. It's still a good rack and ruin, all things considered. Now, before we go into the transformation, I wanted to show this. This is the whole reason that I want to rack and ruin. Here is a smattering of wreckers. Some of them are recognized in different continuities. Some of them are pretty consistent, and a few are not here, like glaring omissions. Like, there's no Ultra Magnus here, for example. Rotor Storm's not here. You know, so there's a few not here, but like, you know, everybody sort of knows that Springer's a wrecker, that Topspin and Twin Twist are, you know, Impactor is, sometimes Cup is, sometimes RC is. We know that World generally is, you know, so like, you get the idea. And honestly, with him right in the center, you can see how he fits. He's sort of like a shorter Voyager, taller Deluxe. Like, his Ultra class standing is somewhere between there. I forgot to mention earlier that his head also, or their heads also, sadly do not move. Do I hope to get a better version of Rack and Ruin sometime down the road? Maybe, maybe. But for now, I like this version and I like this size, and it works for me just fine. We're going to kind of get this guy in his basic stance, and we're going to do the conversion from here. So we kind of bring those back, and then really what you need to do is like bring the, see if I can figure this out now. Like, we bring this up, there's a little tab here on the back, and it will go into a slot here on the leg. So we bring this up, and then we fold that up, and we bring this up and around, and we fold this up. And then we untab all of that. So I thought I should probably kind of zone in on this for a moment during the transformation. I said how you put the legs out and they sort of tab in. Well, I already flipped down the waist piece, right? This is his tummy up right here. I flipped down the waist piece and you can see it easier here. You have a little tab on the leg that goes in between two slots on the waist. That helps solidify the legs in place so that everything tabs together nicer, easier later on. Sort of bring this here on the side and we turn this on the side. Thusly. And we have in here, we have a little opening, a little rectangular opening on each side. And we're going to bring this back and we have little tabs right here that will go into those openings on each side of the leg. Hard for me to see it. I'm going to get those little tabs in, then we'll just finish off the arms. In case you were curious, this is how it should look underneath. This is how it should look on top. Then we come to the arms here, and we straighten them out. And really we kind of bring them down like this. So what you're doing is you untab the whole shoulder assembly, you bring the whole thing down, kind of next to the heads, and then with the arms straight, you fold it back up. What you're gonna have is a little tab here that goes into a little rectangular slot up right there, kind of on the knee. So you bring this up and push that in, and you bring this up and, oh, I don't quite have that in. You bring this up and you tab that in. You make sure that you got everything else tabbed, because I just had a little rectangular tab come out, but can I get that in again? There, and in the end, boom, here you have Rack and Ruin in their weird vehicle mode. Now, full disclosure, I had a couple of things to clean up here in vehicle mode. For example, the two dark green pegs on the side of the hood, they belong in little notches up right there. And that helps solidify the two tabs here on the back. He rolls just fine. It's got a lot of opening back here though. Nevertheless, like, works okay for me. I don't really understand why there's a gap right there. Like, there's definitely weaknesses to the vehicle mode, but I feel like seeing this guy thunder down the road next to, say, Roadbuster would be fitting. I feel like it would absolutely make sense. The transformation is involved and kind of wild, sort of bananas for something that is a Cyberverse. I like it though. Like, I think it's sort of ingenious, and because the like engineering requires certain movements, it helps us to have more articulation on an ultra class offering. As such, I'm going to say that overall the transformation is about a 10. He was at 8.5. I think the transformation is great. I really do. I'm going to say that overall, Rack and Ruin is a solid 9. It's great for what it is. However, it comes with a caveat. You have to be okay that the heads don't move and that there's no waist. You have to understand that this is Cyberverse. It's not, you know, regular generations. There are ways to improve on this. So I'm giving it a 9 for what it is. If you want to compare it and really nitpick and say, hey, no, the heads don't move, the waist doesn't move, you know, the hollow bits, like, you're going to mark it down more to like a 6, maybe a 7. You know, you'd give it as a stand-in, right? But that's about it. I like it for what it is. I hope you do too. I think it's pretty fantastic for a Cyberverse offering. And here we are, and here he is, or rather here they are. And I think it fits in fine with kind of a Wrecker's display. He definitely has the heft and the size. Really the only things here that bother me is I wish there was a waist, but I understand why there's not. Like with Clobber, I wish the heads could move, but again, like, I'll survive. And I wish that the forward movement on the arm was a little less cumbersome. It's there, but it is a bit cumbersome. He looks great, he displays well, and you can, yes, score some dynamic poses with him. Is he perfect? No. But honestly, like, I don't really need him to be perfect. I just need him to be functional, and he's definitely that. I even like his vehicle mode, though a lot of people see a lot of fault with it, and I totally understand that. Let me know what you think about this guy. Do you like him? Do you not like him? You know, I appreciate hearing from you guys. thanks for dropping by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description, or you can check out what we offer on Teespring and through our Patreon. Don't forget, somehow, some way, each and every day, man, you do very much make a difference. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us, and I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way, right here, inside the videos.